Okay, well, this is the meat grinder with the 1-horse motor on it. I'm just getting it hooked up, and I got an old motor from a guy, a 1-horse motor, and needed a little bit of TLC, and this one thing was, or this one sprocket was a little bit out, so I took this cap off and brought it out a little bit. I had to rewire it from 2-phase to 1-phase, and luckily it gave a nice little diagram on the back there with all the numbers on the wires. Had to get educated a little bit on that one myself. Not good with the electrical, but pretty much this one is going to be. I had also an issue with a little thing. It wasn't working, the guy said, and he thought the gears maybe had stripped out, but it was just a little key pin that is going to go right in there. And another guy helped me out with that, trying to just figure it out a little bit. But the 1-horse motor will drive from this shaft into here, and you'll see there's a nice nut welded onto there, and I welded a nut onto here, and we will line it up, and then it will drive this 22-inch meat grinder, and hopefully at a good rate. I think it's 10 rotations per one. And this is just a gear reduction on the front. It was from I was told it was from a hog barn, but hog barn auger. And yeah, let's see if it'll go. I'll keep on putting it together here. Okay, getting a little bit better here. I decided to put a piece of white aluminum on the top just because it's easier to clean and it's smooth. I still have to keep a lumber, but it's almost all lined up. This board that I had on here before, this one was for my countertop that I put in my kitchen. Laminated them all together and out of rough lumber, and I've never showed that, but maybe I should. So we're getting ready to think this will be easy. I'll bolt this down yet. This thing's already screwed down. Motor is all going. I think a few minutes I should be able to start her up and see what she'll do. Yep. Okay, moment of truth. Let's see if it goes. So this is just again a 1-horse motor hooked up with just welded a socket onto the end and a nut onto the other so that it's easy accessible, because this piece needs to come off here, and it needs to just be cleaned out every time you use it. So let's see if the motor drive will go without breaking anything. Right, that's it. Oh, that moved quite a bit. I think it's gonna land up not going. Ooh, that makes lots of noise. Well, first attempt is always the educational part. I think it would still work. Just this one I didn't put on, so I don't know. It's a little bit crooked. Needs to be a little bit more straight. But again, I put grease in there. I want to mention that instead of putting oil, and see what it. See, then you don't always have to. If it has a slow leak, then it's not a big deal, because grease doesn't leak unless it gets really warm, and that's a 10 ratio. It's not gaining any heat in there to drip. But okay, let's see if I'll have to straighten it out yet. So now I found another problem. So the shaft turns the wrong way. So on these 2 phases, apparently we can change the rotation by changing this number, I believe 8 wire. If you look, oh, that's number 2, but there's numbers on there. But according to this, on the single phase, there's a 5 and the 8 that you have to switch around, and that will land up turning the rotation of for the meat grinder, because the meat grinder gets pushed in one way, and it can only go that one way, or else it just pushes out instead of pulls in. So yeah, so that's a little bit of education as well. Should actually post a different video, because man, I googled that and there's nothing there, so had to call a friend. All right, use one of my lifelines. Okay, so now it's going. Turned it around, now it goes the right way. It spins, pushes the meat through. Put it right at the edge so I can put a bucket underneath. Pretty heavy, so it'll stay. But all from an old auger for a barn, a grain bin. And then gear reduction was on it. You can usually use a gear reduction with a pulley system too, where a big wheel, small wheel, and then do it sideways. But I thought this was a good one. Picked it up from a buddy. All right. Anyway, that's how you make a meat grinder out of 1 or 3/4 horse motor for a 22-inch meat grinder.